How you doing? My name's Gianni. I'm your student physical therapist today. So I read over your chart a little bit and I see that we have on the left leg a prosthetic there. So what we're going to be doing today is kind of assessing what you can do and what you can't do. So we have this step by step. It's about 20 items. We're just going to see what you can perform, what you can't, and then kind of that'll guide our plan of care to see what we need to work on or what we're good at right now, what we can improve on. So first I'm going to start by, we're going to be in the chair and kind of around the chair, and then we're going to do some walking and just kind of see how you move, okay?
Okay.
All right, so first what I'm going to do is just, the first item is just sitting balance. So you're just going to be sitting there with your arms across your chest like this. You're just going to sit up straight, and you're just going to try to hold that for 60 seconds, okay? So ready, go. Good, just making sure that you're able to maintain that upright position independently. And let's just say 60 seconds went by, and you got that, so that would be a positive score. You got 1 on there. So next what we're going to do is we're still going to be in the seated position. I'm just going to have your arms straight out like this, okay? So I'm just going to have your hands together. So we're going to go about a foot. So I got it here. And then so from here, we're going to replace that to here. And then what I want you to do is try to reach forward and touch that with your hands and maintain your balance. Good. And then come back. Good. So everything looked good there. So that's a good score. Okay, next what we're going to do is a chair to chair movement. So we're going to transfer from this chair to that chair. Usually you'd have armrests on the chairs, but I want you to do your best to try to stand up from that position and then transfer to that chair. So just pushing up. Good. So you can use, we can try that again. We can use your prosthetic because your prosthetic's on right now.
Okay. Okay.
So let's just try to do that one more time and transfer to the other chair. Good. Okay. Good there. Good. So we'll score that. And then we'll go just straight arms across the chest, and then we're just going to try to stand up independently. So go up here. Good. And back down. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try that transfer one more time.
Okay.
And then we're just going to go, like I said, using your prosthetic and seeing if we can go up. Good. And then seated back down. Good. Okay, good. You got that. And then it only took you one time to go from the chair to standing, so then we're good there. If we couldn't do that, then that would be something where we try a couple times, and then if you needed assistance, you couldn't do it without using your hands. We would do something else there, but that's good. And then next what I'm going to have you do is I'm just going to have you stand straight up, and then I'm going to see how you balance for those first few seconds when you're up, okay? So standing straight up. Good, you can sit back down. Good, okay. So that looked good there. Okay, next one we're going to do is we're going to do a standing balance, okay? So I got the timer here. So what we're going to do is we'll stand up, and then you're just going to be balancing with 2 feet just like this. And we're going to do that for 30 seconds. If you feel okay and you don't feel too tired, then we're going to go one leg at a time balancing for 30 seconds each, okay? So we'll start with the 2 legs. So I'll have you come up, ready, go. And then 30 seconds, standing nice and straight. Good. Okay, let's say 30 seconds was up there, everything looked good, that would be a check mark. And next what we're going to do is we're going to go one leg at a time. So you can start with either leg. I'll have you scoot just a little forward for me. And then we're going to have you go whichever leg, boom, hold them for 30 seconds. let's say 30 seconds, good there. So you can, let's do the other leg. Nice and balanced, good. Feeling okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then 30 seconds pass, good. Good there, okay. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little nudge test. So what you're gonna be doing is you're just gonna be standing straight just like that. And from there, what I want you to do is have your feet as close together as possible. And then I'm just gonna kind of nudge you with my hand. Is it okay if I place my hand in this position?
Yep.
And then I'm just gonna kind of lightly press, and then you're just trying to maintain your balance, okay?
Okay.
Good, good, okay. And then I'll have you turn and face this way for me. And then you know how we did that reach when you were sitting down?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna do it standing. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have you reach your arms out, hands together here. Good. And then there, and then from here, we're gonna have you reach. Good, and then come back. Good. Awesome. Good there. Next one I'm gonna have you do is, I'm just gonna have your eyes closed for 30 seconds. So you're just gonna be standing, so kind of like we did with the balance, but now our eyes are just gonna be closed.
Okay.
And we're just gonna do it with the 2 feet there, okay? You don't have to do one leg at a time, all right?
Okay.
So we're going for 30 seconds. Let's say the 30-second passes. Good. Awesome. Okay. Next one, what we're gonna do is I just want you. I'm gonna have this placed in between so you can spread your legs even a little bit. So I'm gonna have this about a foot in front of you, and then what I want you to do is I want you to bend down so it's right in between your legs. And I just want you to bend down and try to grab that, and then come back up. So you can bend your and then come back up. Good. Okay. Perfect. Anything there?
No.
Feel okay?
Yeah.
All right. And then lastly for this portion, I just want you to come back here to the seat and just cross your arms and slowly lower yourself back down to the sitting. Good. Awesome. Good. So that's the first part. And then we got part 2, which is kind of the walking section of it.
Okay.
Okay, so the second portion, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be looking at the way you walk, okay? So we're going to kind of just walk back and forth from the chair. I measured off about 12 feet from kind of just before the camera and back. So what we're going to do is I just want to see you just kind of walk right now, and then I'll kind of talk through what I'm looking for, okay?
Okay.
So we'll go getting up, and then we'll just walk. Good. Good. And we'll turn around, back, and then we'll turn and sit. So what I was looking for there is first I was just looking at how you started walking. So you were up and smooth, you weren't, struggling to get up and walking, so that looked good there. And then also I was looking at your step length. So when you were kind of going back and forth, I was looking at the length, and I was seeing if your foot cleared the floor every time you took a step, because sometimes we have dragging the feet after, something major going on like that and having a new prosthetic on there. But both those look good. You got at least a foot in between each, and then you're able to clear your foot. And then stepping, it was nice and smooth, so you didn't have any, kind of choppy motions where you felt uncomfortable, you felt like you were starting to lose your balance, so that was good. Turning, you did it in less than 3 steps, so when we went right before the camera and back, so that looked good there. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to walk, but when we're walking, I'm either going to say slow or fast, and then we're going to go either start walking fast or slow. Fast, slow. So we're going to kind of go back and forth with that, and I'm going to tell you a couple different times, either go faster or slower.
Okay.
All right, so we'll stand up and we'll go fast, Good, slow. All right, turn. And then we'll go fast, slow. Good. One more time, turn around. Okay, and then we'll go fast, fast, slow, turn, and then fast, slow. Good, and then we'll turn and sit down. Good, okay. That looked good there. You were able to maintain proper form the whole time. You weren't losing balance. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be stepping over an obstacle, okay? So I have this box right here. Should be around 4 inches. This might be a little, the Nike boxes are a little bit taller, but what I just want you to do is when we're walking, just making sure that you clear and you're balanced over it. I'll be next to you just in case you start to lose your balance a little bit, but I just want you to try to just in one motion go in through, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we'll go ready, 1, 2, 3. And then just stepping over it. Good, and then we'll turn around and come back. And now try to step over it first with now the left leg. Good. There you go. You good right there?
Yep.
Okay, let's sit down. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna walk up and down the stairs, okay?
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna have you start, try not to use the handrails as much as possible. We're gonna go with our lead foot being our left, where the prosthetic is, and then we're just going up. And then once we get to this top step here, we're just gonna come back down leading with that leg, okay?
Okay. So leading both ways.
Yes.
Okay.
Up. And then go. Turn this way. Okay. And go back down. Good. And then one more time. Let's see if we can go one step at a time, okay? So obviously with me there, if we needed, assisted device, maybe a cane or something like that, or needing to use the handrails, that could be fine, especially going the one step at a time. Obviously I was there to help you out, so that's why it was, a little bit easier, but overall good. And then we didn't use any assisted devices during any of our balance portion or walking. You seemed pretty smooth, so, but if that was the case and we needed to use an assisted device, then that could be something where I'd mark it off on whichever one of the tests that we did. Okay?
Okay.
But overall, very good.
Thank you.